2, 3, 4, 5 years, 6, you see the product obsolescence rate, and where the customers are willing to pay for new features, whether they want it or don't want it, but at least you see every manufacturer is compelled to keep introducing new products at a much rapid pace. So automotive industry is no exception to that. If you are looking at the life cycle, it is essentially coming what used to be like 10 years or 20 years. If those of you are old enough here to see the Premier Padmini or the Ambassador, where you used to have like 10 years with the same model and with the refresh with just a front grille, customers are expecting more. And in a lighter vein, if you look at it, I give the analogy in the movie industry. So you don't see any more 100-day movies or 200-day movies. Now we talk about 100 crore club and 200 crore club, and all happens within a few weeks. And that's a cycle time. And this is a fact of life. And this, from the SME's point of view, how quickly can you actually deliver to this expectation? And that is going to be the real challenge. Those who are going to win are the ones who are gearing themselves up, both from a design point of view and the processes point of view, to essentially keep changing at that rapid pace. What has happened? So one, if you're talking about the manufacturing, the second part is from the global players. Pretty much all the global players are here today. If you're taking the automotive industry, all the major nameplates, brands are operating in India. So there is, and it's same for white goods or FMCG or any of the segment that you're looking at. There's a huge market base. So we can actually consume a lot. And a case in point, if I give an example of China, they have the iPhone customers in terms of revenue. They have actually even been in the US. So that is the potential. And that is a premium product. And India is not far away from that. So when you're talking about Make in India, it is not just Make in India for manufacturing, it's also designing and creating intellectual property in India, because the market potential is yet to be tapped. And this gives a lot of economies of scale. And when I talked about how you can actually meet the customer expectation at a new price performance point, we can set the example for the globe. And again, the product development process becomes critical, because it's not just one market, we have to actually look at multiple. So this essentially enables the global manufacturers to quickly adapt. So the regulations are coming at a rapid pace, which is synergizing globally. So with minimal adaptations, they are able to launch the global products in India quickly. And same thing, the product development to delivery. So the whole development cycle time has also shrunk considerably than what it used to be. Now, how do we do this? You know, if you are actually looking as an Indian company, whether it's an SME or whether it's a major Indian player like M&M, where we have multinational, becoming an Indian multinational, if you're not already there. So how do you actually tackle this with the short-term product development cycle? And one thing is there's access to global technologies, but how do you get the global technology at an affordable price and introduce to the market? And there it becomes a very critical lever is for frugal cost, frugal engineering, and also cost reduction. So a lot of innovation that happens in the processes, whether it's in the manufacturing or in the design, that gets embedded. And customers are merciless now. It's first time right, every time right. This is almost like a crusade. Because once I keep going back to the movie, if you see that first, if your review is bad, actually you don't get it in the second weekend and you lose the money. So for you to recover, you need to get it right the first time. There are still cases, I think there can be a counterpoint to it, that now even the adaptation comes very quickly, even in the movie industry, where they actually shrink a 2-3 hour movie into a 1.5 hour movie after the first review. But again, you don't have a second opportunity to make a first impression, and that is what is happening almost in every single industry domain. Now I step back, look at what is that Mahindra has done. Many of you know, they have been established right at 1948, predominantly a single product company till I would say in the mid-90s. From there, with the launch of the Bolero, and then with the Scorpio, and then with XUV, we essentially look at a multiple. This is just 3 of the blockbuster products that were delivered. But you actually see a lot more products, a lot more offerings which has come from there. And this is just the beginning. If you really want to survive, so you essentially have to keep going forward. So one of the things which we did, and this is around 2009 or so, we said we have to get an integrated R&D center. So that's where we established the Mahindra Research Valley. And this is something which was very clear to us. You cannot just do it only with cost. You have to bring value, you have to bring technology, which the customer is willing to pay for. Just because the customer is not really having a technology doesn't mean that he does not want it. There is an aspiration, but the affordability is something which you have to do. So this is what we did. One of its kind where we have around 2,500 to 3,000 engineers in one place, just doing product development and design. And one of its kind in India or globally in the sense that where you have tractors and automotive engineers working together. So that gives us a unique advantage for us. Even though we don't have the volume scale, we have the knowledge scale. And this has helped us to essentially attract a lot more talent. So this is something which I will come in my latest slides, talking about the talent what is available. So what has helped us is we were able to get experience and young talent in under one roof. And state-of-the-art global facilities, again, if you want to have a global product, you need to have global infrastructure. And that's why we're able to put it in one place. And a lot of design, we were able to move it up front, move it into the virtual domain. So here again, it's imperative, whether it is in SMEs or in large enterprises, how do you essentially move a lot of the design? So no more of this trial and error. If you're looking at the short-term development cycle time, you need to get it right. So you need to essentially use all the technology and the tools that are available, which was not there for the previous generation. And the next one, which is important again, which we talk about is, we have Mahindra Technical Academy. While we talk about hundreds of thousands of engineers graduating every year, there is always a question in terms of the quality versus the quantity. How can you get them ready on day one and billable on day one? So since we are large, we are able to actually invest a lot of money onto this, so give engineers a hands-on training. But what I would say is, even for the small and medium enterprises, especially in Coimbatore, where you have excellent academic institutions, there's a great opportunity which can be leveraged through this academia, and you actually upscale the skill sets of the people who are actually entering the workforce. The next one, process. I can't overemphasize this. We need to have a very structured process, because you're not going to get it first time right, every time right, if you don't have process discipline. And then the program management. You cannot afford to have time delays. So if you're going to have a launch, if you need to have it on time, this is something which is part and parcel for us to do it. And also this, we have talked about cross-functional teams. When you get it under one roof, it becomes easier for us to cross it. These are some of the products that have been designed and developed at Chennai on the auto side. Similarly, on the farm side, we have 3 tractors, the Novo, which has been, I think we have around 52 applications on a single equipment, which is quite complex. And this we could do only if you have a customer knowledge, and you also are able to harness the technology and get it at the right price point. So I thought I'd just give you a short video of what we had in the last year. I think many of you would be seeing it on the roads. This is completely designed over here. Even though we call it as a refreshed product, most of the things under the skin, under the body is completely new, and all was designed by Indians. So I'll take my just show it. Fortunately, I don't need to do a voiceover, so it's only music, so it's okay.